Okay, let's go through 1.1 really quick and see how to do each one of the questions. The top 6, the point of these exercises are to review and remind you how to do the algebraic steps to solving for a variable. Number 1, the point here is that x is almost by itself. There's not much left to do. In order to get x by itself, you have to do the opposite of whatever's right next to it, and that's multiply by 6, so we're going to divide by 6. And you got to remember, it's like a scale. Everything inside has to be balanced. So if we divide by 6 on one side, we have to divide by 6 on the other. Well, 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times x is x. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. So that's the answer for number 1. That's all you had to do there. Number 2. Here we look at the same thing. The first step we have to make sure is, are all the x's on the left side of the equal sign? So we have the equal sign here. We need to make sure all the x's are on the left side. In this case they are. The only thing over here is a 2, and so all the x's are over here. So the next step is to start getting the x by itself. Before we divide everything up, let's get everything gone that can be gone. Like the analogy I used in class, if grandma divides up $10,000, you don't want anyone else in the room. You want to be the only one there to get the money. So we're going to send everyone out of the room by doing the opposite of whatever it says it's doing. So here it's minus 10, so we're going to add 10. We got to remember to do it to both sides. And we're left with 3x plus 0 equals 12. Now the x is almost by itself. We can divide it out. No one else is there to get the money. So we're going to divide it out, and we are left with x equals 4. Now I'm okay if you leave it as just 12 over 3. I don't need you to simplify it. Those are the same answers, in my opinion. Okay, number 3. Our first question, are all the x's on the left side of the equal sign? And the answer is no. You have this one right here. And that one's not on the left of the equal sign, it's on the right. So we need to get rid of it. We need to take it away. So we're going to take away that x. With that, we got to do it to both sides because it's got to be equal. And we're left on this side with 7x minus 10 equals, and that x is gone, 0 plus 11 is 11. And we get 0 because x minus x is 0. So now it's still moving along, and we need to add 10. Again, before we go through dividing the inheritance or the money up evenly, we've got to get everyone out of the room so we can get it all ourselves. So we're going to add that 10 to both sides, and we are left 7x equals 21. Now there's nothing else that can be done here, so we're going to just divide by 7, and that's the answer. Or we can just say x equals 3, because 21 divided by 7 is 3. Okay, number 4. Are all the x's to the left of the equal sign? No, we have 7 x's right here. So we need to get rid of all 7 of those x's. We're going to subtract 7 x's, and that gets rid of that. We have to do it to both sides. Now, one of the concerns many people are going to have is, well, you can't do 5 minus 7, you get a negative number. Well, it's okay to have a negative 2x. That's allowed. So just because it's a negative number, don't let it scare you too much. And here we have 7 minus 7, which is 0. 0 minus 17 is negative 17. Are all the x's over now? Yes, we don't have any more x's. And we look at this side. Are we all alone so we can divide? The answer is no. We have this minus 7. So we're going to do the opposite and add 7 to both sides. and we're left with negative 2x equals 10. Negative 17 plus 7 is 10. And if we divide by negative 2, we see that x equals either 10 over negative 2 or negative 5. Okay, moving on to the next one. Are all the x's on the left side? The answer is no. We have this negative 2x right here. So there's two ways to think of it. You can always subtract. So minus a negative 2x is the same thing as plus 2x. And if that's confusing for you, just do the opposite of whatever it says, because you want that to equal 0. So whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. And we are left with 5x plus 9 equals 44, and then the plus 0, but we don't need to write that. Now we're going to subtract 9, and then we have 5x equals 35, and divide by 5, because we want the x by itself. That gives us x is 7, or you can just circle the 35 over 5. Okay. Now I'm going to let you do number 6 on your own. Just remember, you got to get all the x's to the left, so you can subtract that x from the right hand side and do it to both sides, so you get 2x plus 6 equals 2, and then solve from there. Now I'm telling the class they don't need to do number 7 through 12, so we're going to just flip over to the other side, and I'm going to zoom in so it's a little easier to see. Number 13, here we're asked to find the slope and label the slope on the graph. Okay, well, let's plot the 2 points. We have 2, negative 1, so we go over to 2 and down to negative 1, and we put a point. And then we also go 4 and 2, so we go over 4 and up 2. And we're left with 2 points. We connect those 2 points with a line, and we want to find the slope and label it. Well, we got to figure out the slope is rise over run, or the change in y over change in x. So how are we changing in y? We're going up 1, 2, 3. So 3. And so just to label that, all you got to do is just put little dashes, and then over 1, 2. There's your slope. Notice they have it here too. Okay, so that's all you have to do with 13 through 15. Okay, the next one. These are x comma y, so you just got to remember that. So what's our x value? Our x value is negative 2, so we're going to go negative 2 and then up 1, because that's our y value. So negative 2, positive 1. Okay, what's our x value here? It's positive 2 and positive 5. So we're going to go positive 2 and then positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to here. And we just draw our line. Now let's find the slope. We rise, remember it's rise over run, or whatever the y changes to the x. So we start on the very left point. As you read a book, always go left to right. Okay, so we start here and we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from here, we need to go over 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to that point. So 4 over 4, or 1. And that's how we find that slope. And again, just to label it, all you got to do is just draw a couple dashed lines. That's it. Okay. The next one, we have 0, 0. So that's just right here in the center. And the next one is 3, 6. So our x value is 3, 1, 2, 3. And then up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we draw a line. And we need to label it. So our rise is right here. And our run. So we say, okay, we have to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our run is 1, 2, 3. Okay, you go up 6 and over 3. And that's 6 over 3, or if you simplify it down, you'll get 2. Number 16. Okay. -3, 0. So -1, 2, 3. And then we're not going up or down. Our y is 0, so we'll stay at 0. And 0, 5. We have 1, 0, so we don't go back or forth any because that's our x and that's our y. So our x is 0, but our y is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll put a point right here. Here's our line. Let's label the rise and the run. So our rise over our run. How far do we have to rise? We go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how far do we run? We go 1, 2, 3. So our slope is 5/3. Okay. The next one, number 17, we got to plot -2 and -1. Okay, remember x, y. And then we plot -4, 2, 3, 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we draw our line. Okay. Now, remember, we have to do rise first. How far do we go up or down? We go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So down 5. And to the right, 1, 2. And so there's our slope. That's all you have to do. Number 18. We're going back and forth 0 because that's our x and our y. Okay, so our x is 0, but we're going +3. So we're going to go up here to 3 and put a point. And this point here, we're going x to a +1 and y all the way up here to 6. 1, 6. And that gives us a point here. And we just have to figure out how far we go up and how far we go over. So we go up 1, 2, 3. So we have our rise is 3 and our run is 1. So 3 over 1 is our slope. And that's how you do the homework on 1.1. I hope it helps.